Hello everyone. Today our task is to introduce our community to the new version of the game that we have been developing over the past couple of months. In this video I will briefly introduce who is here today to talk about this game. Joining us on the call is Arkady Chernyshov. The person on the team is responsible for partnerships, integration and interactions with exchanges and various partners. Arkady lives in Dubai, so anyone planning or wanting to meet and talk with him can always see him in Dubai. It's easy and simple. Zhenya, our lead designer, is a specialist, the person who actually creates the visual environment that everyone encounters for the first time. With vast, extensive experience, the work accumulated over the past 15 years. Right now, AVACN is putting out all its best ideas, so to speak, processed through its brain and body. That's why we have such an awesome game. Also, with us here is Vlad, the head of the development team. Guy's the head. Of all those who work hands-on to make this game look beautiful and function well for you, Elena is with us on Zoom. Elena is our head of advertising and marketing, as well as interactions with all exchanges. I just sat down next to her listing. Also, we have Nikita here on Zoom. Nikita is the person who determines the data and figures that will be in our game, all the tokenomics and the entire game balance. He is our chief analyst for all metrics. He absolutely knows all the existing shortcuts inside and out. He studies them, so he is our main specialist in feedback and opinions. He knows everything our community needs today from A to Z. And by the way, I forgot to mention here, Arkady Chernyshov is also the person who communicates with you in the chat of 200,000 people in all 12 languages through artificial intelligence, and responds immediately every second, all by himself. He is assisted by artificial intelligence. Each of the team members has more than one tool at their disposal, including artificial intelligence, which the world offers us today. This makes it easier for us to communicate with the community. There is no need to expand the team to 30, 50 or 100 people, because each of our guys is a separate general. Not just a soldier captain, but a separate general. And now I will hand it over to Jack Sparrow Zhenya. He will guide us and showcase the new game. We will also definitely watch it. Indeed, discuss it informally, ask questions, and chat freely. Zhenya, the floor is yours. Screen.
Yes, Anton, thank you very much for such a presentation. Let's say a few introductory words before we show the long process of working on the game, and today we will show the full gameplay that is currently in development. But first I would like to highlight some of the challenges that most large teams face. This year, fall, many projects have been released on the Tone system, including Nodecoin, Hamster, Pixels, and millions of other apps that have revolutionized this industry. Accordingly, a huge number of these millions of users came there. They constantly need to be surprised and satisfied with something. Accordingly, before we started developing this game, we thought that it needed to be very interesting, it needed to be unique, but at the same time understandable and user-friendly. Accordingly, in order to start its development and ensure it meets all the requirements and expectations of users, this game needed to be developed with many aspects in mind. That is, it includes everything from gameplay and logic to graphics, visual impressions, and sound effects. As game developers, we understand the underlying components, but for you it's an interesting, beautiful, intuitive game where you can press one button and the magic happens. But actually, under the hood, today we will show you hundreds of screens. This is the behind-the-scenes look at how the game starts. Therefore, for you, I think, as our very first followers, this will be especially interesting. This game could not have been developed without prior studies, analytics, and research. Therefore, before developing this game, we analyzed various games, not just games on Telegram, but also computer and board games, because our team consists of people from different generations with diverse life and gaming experiences. So we recalled various games, starting from those from the 2000s. Maybe someone has played strategy games like Age of Empires, Civilization, Warcraft. Board games were also mentioned, as many people have played and love board games. They are not entirely digital, it's more of a phygital mechanic, but it's still interesting. Therefore, it is precisely thanks to such initial extensive work on studying analytics that we were able to create a game that, in our opinion, would perfectly meet the interests and expectations of our users. Before the presentation and before we move on to the gameplay, let's briefly go over our task. The task was not to create a game for one day, not just a tapper, but to develop a full-fledged product that would delight, surprise, and bring joy to millions of players around the world. I will now start the screen sharing right now, and we will slowly and carefully begin the process of exploring this game. The team members will be asking questions. If something is unclear, I want to point out that the numbers and examples provided here are just for illustration purposes. Therefore, we are not focusing on specific numbers right now. Let's look at the game's logic and how it will appear in detail.
Let's get started.
You can easily access the first screen from the main game in the AVACN app, and then you will simply need to carefully choose one of the sides. We have two coalitions, indeed two clearly and obviously opposing teams. This is the team of brown bear businessmen, team of white bear cops. We need to choose one side. Here we approached, and I say this as a designer with extensive experience, the implementation of this personalization from a very unusual angle, because essentially I will now show you what parts of our game look like. Essentially, by personalizing the game, we have created not just one game, but two. At the first step, when you choose which side to play for, you will need to predetermine your overall future world, your universe in which you will develop and build your business. Therefore, on the initial screens, when you initially choose between the white bears or the brown bears, you will need to see what the universe is all about.
Yes, those bears.
Well, of course, it's the location itself where all this will take place. These are the types of businesses that will need to be developed, and the special collections that we will discuss with you later. You will need to choose one of the game characters in the game. In our game, we used artificial intelligence, such as advanced algorithms. Many thanks to him for greatly generating various collectible items, avatar items, and cards. In general, artificial intelligence has helped us a lot because, in many ways, more than 1,000 different artifacts were generated. Honestly, I can't imagine if we had made this game 4 years ago, how much time it would have taken us to generate and draw such items. It would have been an incredibly time-consuming and labor-intensive process.
What does it remind you of? This picture reminds me of something I saw somewhere, at some parade.
All right then.
After we select a character, we immediately provide the new player with a very generous welcome bonus. This bonus consists of a magic chest, which I will show what it can include later, such as rare items, and a starting capital that can be used to level up in the game. We take this bonus, and after that we go to the main screen. I will show you what the main screen looks like in the Brown Bears Coalition, and then we will switch and look at the difference between brown and polar bears. Let's look at the Brown Bears screen. This is the location. Just a little ahead of time, I'll say that this is not the only location that will be in this game. We are currently working on creating and developing a few additional new and exciting worlds, and organizing a kind of immersive metaverse where there will be a constant and ongoing conflict between the brown bears and the polar bears. In the first stage, there are 3 main business directions that can be developed. We have a quarry, river mining, and also, for example, a gold receiver and such as. Each of these points, which we will look at in more detail now, has a specific hourly yield At the top of the screen, we can also see the total amount of our funds at the moment and the overall hourly yield. Once again, I want to draw your attention to the fact that the numbers are still approximate and made solely for demonstration purposes. They may change later, so let's not focus on them right now.
Yes, but it's worth noting that this token. Let's focus on this question right away. Maybe Nikita can explain what this token will be and why we will need it in the game.
Since we have come to him.
Overall, yes, this is one of the two options for the in-game token. We will talk about the second one a little later. It is needed to upgrade, so to speak, these buildings and cards, which Genya will also show a bit later, and to accumulate capital and grow your hourly income. Overall, the reward in AVA coins, which is the main currency of our game, will depend on the game's activity and the increase of these metrics in the future, such as this currency is exclusively for in-game progression, but the higher your performance, the more potential rewards you can earn in real tokens that already exist.
We will later provide the opportunity to swap these internal game tokens for lava coins.
We won't be revealing the format of this just yet.
Yes, but it will be an opportunity.
Yes, that's them.
Their goal is to generate these in-game tokens. You can get more and more on the current Blu-ray, which will continue for another year and a half.
Okay, Genya, please.
So, continuing our topic, I'll say that, well, first of all, they are showing the screens of the white bears now. Yes, we can already see the personalization and customization, which is evident not only in the colors of the panels and buttons, but also, as you will see later, in how different these worlds will be overall. And as I mentioned earlier, we essentially designed two different and unique games where two rival factions of white and brown bears will fiercely battle for supremacy and a prestigious and highly coveted spot in the Forbes ranking. All right, let's go through everything step by step. Now, I'll show a bit about the polar bears. We can see their city of the future.
Do white people actually live in Dubai, perhaps?
The whites undoubtedly live.
This year, Dubai ranked first in the number of dollar millionaires who have emigrated here, 6,700 people. That means it has surpassed everyone. All the millionaires are flying to Dubai. The safest and most reliable location for riding a buggy. So yes, polar bears are cool and live in Dubai.
Every day, users will receive bonuses, thus encouraging people to engage more with the game and eventually have the opportunity to level up more and become stronger. Accordingly, each and every day there will be an opportunity to receive both cash bonuses and magical boxes, which we will discuss in detail later, that can contain incredible and amazing things.
Can these crates be received every day?
Every day for 10 crates, yes, every day. And bonuses in the form of coins for 10 days. In this way, we are forming a consistent habit of logging in, checking, and earning more and more every day, thus having an advantage in the fight later on. Like walking into the cashier and taking the money.
Salary. Well, cool. Well, yeah.
And to have an advantage over other players in battles in the future. And also, I'll say right away, you'll be able to take money in this fight. You will be able to take over businesses.
So, therefore...
So we have the white bear, and he, like a priest, takes away from whom? From the bad businessman.
Well, you know, there are no bad guys here. There are no good guys, you see. So it's just two opposing sides fighting for supremacy in this world, for wealth, and for control of resources. So each of them has their own interests, let me put it that way, and to level up their skills. There are specific ministries of defense and attack in the fights. Now let's talk about these cards in particular. Let's go up. Let's move on to the next screens. The following screens are indeed definitely exactly those business cards that we can upgrade. For example, we have diamond mining and we can see that it has a certain yield, such as we can increase this hourly yield by purchasing and upgrading the following cards. So we were talking about artificial intelligence earlier, and here it has also helped us a lot. Look at these wonderful, amazing upgrade items we have here. Moreover, returning to personalization, it is worth noting that these items are different for brown bears and for white bears. Oh, for brown bears. And for white bears.
So if we come now, for example, try to jump between them a bit slower, so we can take a closer look. You've already seen them, but those who are watching, I think for the first time, so a little slower.
Right now I'm trying to find the screen here. It seems like this small part will have to...
While you search, I'll ask Elena how many languages, then I'll run ahead, and later we'll translate all the names of these different cards. Basically, the entire gameplay.
The next step.
Lost one screen. We can translate into all the languages that we are currently using in our part. No, we have a community from 200 countries. We have a community from 200 countries. We can't handle 200 countries. Could you at least choose an approximate number?
Of course not.
We will not take only the languages.
We will take the main ones.
The audience predominantly speaks which languages? Those are the languages we will integrate. Arkady probably already learned Vietnamese.
Uzbek, right, Arkady? Partially. Do you speak it?
You already know Swahili, Hindi, Pashto, and all the other languages.
Well, really, very great. Awesome.
So, we will translate it into a large number of languages to make it accessible and convenient for everyone to play, not just in English, but in all other languages as well, because the names of all these things are so cool and awesome. I read them in my native language, Russian, and the names are cool and interesting. And of course, it would be great if everyone understood these names and improved their skills by understanding all the names that will be present in the game, rather than just reading some card in an incomprehensible English language. There are so many interesting things, such a quantity. Even I was reading, my mom and dad were sitting next to me, I read some words to them and they said, "Is this really Russian?" I say, "Yes, these are such interesting cool names." It turns out we don't even know all the names. That's why it's very important to translate it into the language of our players. Alright, Zhenya, go ahead, did you find it?
Alright, let's continue. Basically, I found it in our game. You will be able to enhance and upgrade your business, thereby significantly increasing the overall profit from the specific building and your total income, which can then be used to further enhance your various skills in various battles. This is actually what the Drilling Bear card looks like. As I mentioned, thanks to artificial intelligence for helping us generate these wonderful images. And returning to personalization, I will say that in particular, the brown and white bears have different visual representations and businesses. We see these beautiful visuals.
Here they are.
There will be a huge number of these cards. As I mentioned, more than 1,000 elements were generated specifically for this game. You will be able to upgrade this card and accordingly increase your profitability. In addition to business cards, we will also have cards that are specifically designed to affect combat and fighting. These are the Ministry of Attack and Ministry of Defense cards. Accordingly, Arkady Chernyshov.
Wait, I haven't had a chance to switch to that page yet. Just a moment, please.
I'm just looking. Aha, found it.
Accordingly, the brown bears also have, in fact, the same buildings within which they can upgrade characteristics and abilities that will affect the battle in the game. This is indeed an attack, this is a target, this is a critical hit. Once again, there are many interesting elements present that have the potential to be upgraded in various ways. Additionally, there is a deadly hammer, which is a powerful and dangerous tool.
Golden onion.
The polar bears have their own elements accordingly in their natural habitat. All these elements will affect the battle, which I will show next. Let's move on to the next screens. I was talking about the universe and the various maps where you can engage in battles and run businesses. Accordingly, initially one map will be given on which the player will start As you progress in the game, you will be able to unlock new locations and earn even more income. There is a characteristic parameter called authority in our game. It is one of the most crucial and important characteristics that affects many different game mechanics in our AVA Fight game, in our AVA File game, and also in our AVA File game. This authority parameter affects the following parameters. For example, it determines the number of attacks that can be conducted per day, because I am absolutely certain that everyone will definitely want to take something from the other side. Therefore, the more authority a player has, the more attacks they can conduct per day. There is also a parameter called profit offline limit. This parameter will affect the mining time and the time it takes to earn money when the player exits the game. So, for example, we made one attack, bought some cards, upgraded our business, and then exited the game. At the first level, we assume that while the player is away, their business will generate profit for exactly 1 hour. The more authority a player has in the future, the more offline profit the player will be able to collect. And then, when he logs into the game will tell him, buddy, here's your million, your business was running while you were away. This is precisely what clearly distinguishes one level of authority from another in a very significant manner. You will be able to buy cases, and at the first level you can buy one case and win something. At higher authority levels you can buy more than one. So we have a complete breakdown. Thank you, Nikita, for the numbers and all the analytics you provided. In other words, the higher your authority in the game, the more opportunities you have. But overall, we definitely assume that this game will indeed take quite a very long time. And due to the constant gradual challenges, the player will definitely find it interesting to play. In other words, we are counting on the player not losing interest in this wonderful game even after the first 6 months of playing. Certain bonuses are also given to the player upon reaching a new level which affect the fight, such as you will boost your reputation in various ways. You can invite friends, collect collectible items, and also open new boxes, which will further increase your reputation.
I'll talk about them too.
Anton, do you have a question?
Yes.
I had a question about who I can conduct an attack with.
Selectively, this.
I really can't get my neighbor to absolutely understand at all.
Whom I know.
I see, it's about the attack.
I already have a list of friends I definitely, absolutely want to take out.
Let me tell you about the attack now as well, because the attack is really...
You go step by step, of course. You can come back to the attack later. Yes, yes, yes. You need to prepare for the attack. You need to collect items, boxes. You can win boxes every day.
As I remembered.
Look, there's an interesting story here. The player has a collection that will affect their authority in the game. Let's say you currently have 500 experience points, which means you are at level 1. Therefore, you have 1 attack, 1 box per day, and you have some limitations compared to those with higher authority. So at some point, you'll realize that, damn it, I want to be more authoritative than others. I want to win in fights. And for that, you will undoubtedly level up. You will certainly have certain collections that will drop for you in various mystery and other types of boxes, which will allow you to have and increase your authority. Here are these collectible items, thanks to Alina and AI, who helped us generate very beautiful images of these items. And we also have general statistics. This is the Forbes ranking, where we create a dashboard showing the statistics of these two teams. The first team is cops, the second team is businessmen. And here we show who currently on this prestigious Forbes list currently has the most items in their possession. Accordingly, we have the first 100 participants with the highest.
More than 100 people, right? Only shown.
Well, basically, yes.
Forbes always shows only 100.
Why show everyone?
We should aim to get into the top 100, right?
Top 100, yes.
But of course, the one who is number 1
We will reward these top 100 later. Oh, yeah. Yes, we will come up with some really cool bonuses for them. Maybe we should invite someone from Dubai or something else to the event. We'll come up with something really cool for this top 100 later. So everyone should strive to get into the Forbes top 100.
Absolutely, definitely. We have a store where you can purchase various boxes. In these boxes, you can win collections that will affect your reputation. We have 3 types of boxes: Pandora box, medium mystery box, and regular box, which will generally be given out every day. But in this box, you can also win a collectible item that will affect your reputation. Accordingly, a person can have several of these boxes in their collection. Well, not in their collection, but rather in the inventory section. And he can open them, these boxes. We are creating the magic of opening these boxes here. I think that once the game is released. On Nier, you will be able to fully enjoy the box opening special effects that we are planning for you right now. That's why I'm giving a brief overview so as not to reveal all the cards, just a bit. The essence of this is that you might get some magical, cool, collectible artifact, and you can add it to your collection. First, you will have the opportunity to climb higher in the Forbes ranking, and have a greater chance of winning in the attack, which I will now tell you about, Anton. Here, by the way, we also have, I didn't mention, we have VIP status. This is also a very cool story. It's a collectible medal that will be given for 7 days. What does VIP status offer? Let's talk a little about that. First of all, in the fight that I am about to show, there will be an opportunity to either gain something, meaning to take some cards from your opponent, or to lose something. Therefore, VIP status is a kind of protection, a shield that allows you not to lose your cards in battle. Accordingly, the boxes that we provide...
Your own offline, right?
Yes, including that.
Including if you are offline at any given moment?
We have bonus boxes that will be given every 12 hours. But if you have VIP status, you will be able to receive twice as many bonus boxes per day. Accordingly, more attacks per day. We remember that depending on your authority, you have a certain number of attacks per day. Accordingly, the VIP status adds 2 attacks per day, health recovery, and finding a new opponent. That is indeed many parameters specifically affect your performance in the fight. Let's finally get to it. Because the combat is what sets our game apart from many other games currently on the market, in my opinion. I've never seen a mechanism like this before. It is absolutely incredible. So the fight, the process itself, starts in a special section. It's not just by chance that it's the first item in our menu, because we strongly believe that this key feature is what very largely drives the player's interest in the game as a whole. Indeed, it is precisely this process of opposition, rivalry, competition, and perpetual conflict between the two castes. In this fight, we see the overall statistics, the number of wins and losses, how many attacks we have per day at our level, and remember, they can be increased. A few rules and the specific parameters that our service will calculate, internally calculated. When searching for a new opponent and displaying their parameters, the game will calculate each player's chances of winning. The key button here is the largest one. It's impossible to miss her. There she is in the center, looking for a new opponent. There is also indeed a story here about what we gained or lost in various battles. I'll talk about that too. Let's get to the fight now. We press the main button to search for an opponent. Next, we see ourselves on the left side. On the other hand, we see the opponent selected for us by the system. This is a completely random selection. So it could really be your neighbor, or it could be Pavel Durov, yes, randomly chosen for us. That is absolutely anyone who is registered in this game, without exception.
Opponent found.
And we can look at its parameters in detail and thoroughly assess each of our chances of winning. And carefully, with this opponent...
How do you know whether to fight or not? So it's possible not to fight, right?
You don't have to fight.
You can either flee the battle or find another opponent.
How many times can you search?
At the current level without VIP status, you currently only have approximately 3 searches, but if you purchase VIP status, you can search up to 10 times. There is a possibility, as I understand it, that you want to get on Durov. There is a chance that you will get on it. Now, after we have found an opponent, we can engage in battle with them. The fight is about to start. Each character has a certain amount of HP, which means health points. And then the battle begins. We have several types of strikes. I will show them now. I won't go into all the animations again because I want you to... Yes, they have already experienced and seen them live. Nevertheless, we have several types of strikes. This is a regular hit.
It's a miss.
And that's a critical hit. Precisely the exact parameters you have for attack and defense. And they will significantly affect the impact and dramatically increase the frequency of these strikes, on how many lives you will take with each hit, and accordingly on the final result. I will now definitely show the reverse side.
Zhenya, so if I understand correctly, even if my stats are weaker, it doesn't necessarily mean I'll lose. In theory, I can still win if I get lucky with my hits.
You can win, yes, we have
But I didn't understand how that's going to happen.
We have a very sophisticated and rather clever mechanism that precisely calculates the chances of winning.
Let's not go into all these details for now.
We definitely can't, but I'll explain it in a way that is very easy and straightforward to understand. We did this to ensure that the fighting process is not always predictable, so that each player has more or less equal chances of winning. Nevertheless, we do have a certain algorithm, but we are not revealing it just yet. So even at this point in time...
Ask your question.
And here the online players are shown. We are not only fighting with those who are online. Actually, in general, among everyone, there's a million-strong audience, not just online, right? Or will it be possible to choose somehow later? Do you have a metric?
What exactly is it for?
The point is that in our game, we can attack not only those who are online, but also those who are offline. That's why when you enter the game, for example, it's designed so that you can fight not only with those who are online, but also with those who don't log into the game.
Since they don't enter the game, those who do should take them out and seize their cards. If they don't have VIP status, they should be...
To fight.
Actually, that's exactly what we're aiming for.
And expect it. That's it.
So even when you're not online, you can still be attacked. And even if you haven't logged into the game for, say, 6 or 12 hours, you log in and see that you were attacked, for example, and that you even won, even when you were offline. That can happen too. And in this intense battle, you can take money from the person you attacked. You can also take a valuable building upgrade card, and you can even take their authority.
But I don't see here which of them were during offline or online, for example. There's no indicator yet. It would be good to have one so that maybe, for instance, I earned while I was offline. Oh, good, I had a successful trip to the dacha. Or while I was riding the metro. Offline or online, I'll have to think about it, yeah.
I would like to add, regarding authority, that it's not exactly a case of us taking it away, it's just an allocation, simply because the authority can't make these XP points, which you accumulate to gain a new level of authority, drop below. The level you currently have, for example, if you have level 5 and 100 points, here's the maximum amount you can lose if you haven't logged into the game for a month and you've been attacked 100 times, losing each time. You will lose 1 point each time, but no more than this 100. That is, you will never drop to the 4th level. That is, within the same level.
Are there any limits on how many times I can be beaten? There are so many players. If they all take me down, there will be hundreds of millions.
Don't worry, we'll give you VIP status as the first player, so not many people will just take you down.
By the way, we are integrating Telegram Stars technology into the VIP status. Keeping up. With the times with Telegram, their new tools are for testing, checking, working, and training Telegram users to properly use Telegram Stars, right? So the VIP status can be bought very affordably with some stars. VIP status for stars, right?
Yes, VIP start. How much for the start?
You can't buy them with lava coins, right?
Good idea. We'll definitely think about it. Because they just said at the beginning of our Zoom that certain bonuses for AVACN holders will definitely be provided.
Those who have tokens will be able to exchange them for boxes and VIP statuses.
Use tokens.
Not only stars, but also tokens to buy boxes, to buy various things.
Forbes is there.
So did you explain everything about the battles?
About the fights, let me tell you now. After the fight, we could...
Limit.
So let me ask again. Is there a limit? How many times can I be attacked in a day while I'm out of contact?
Nikita, do we have a limit?
Or is it enough? Who will say,
Well, yes. I can't beat up 100,000 people. Obviously, right?
and I will be knocked down with him. They will take all my cards.
After an attack on a player, whether they win or lose, they will have immunity and cannot be attacked again. We won't specify the exact duration right now, but it will be approximately between 6 to 8 hours. This means that a player can be attacked a maximum of 3 times a day, but considering the number of players, this is unlikely to happen constantly.
By the way, you had some elixirs somewhere over there.
There were elixirs, yes. Returning to the fight, after you were attacked, you were most likely beaten and had valuable health points, HP, taken from you. To restore it, there is a special elixir that can help you recover your health significantly faster. Otherwise, it will recover on its own, but this process will take some time. So you can certainly go on the attack with a partial health bar, but it's at your own risk. That is, we still recommend restoring your health. It can be purchased. Alternatively, you can have this elixir on a permanent basis if you have VIP status.
So beautiful.
How many times can I drink it if I have VIP status?
After each battle?
It's preferable to have a drink on Fridays. After each battle,
Then 2 decided.
actually you can drink it after every fight, but if you have VIP status, your health will regenerate on its own. So there is some value to having VIP status. Either VIP status or drink up and head back into the fight with full health. Here it is, the fight. Here it is, the fight. To wrap up the topic of fighting, it's important to note that a fight won't always end in your victory. It can sometimes indeed end in defeat, depending on who you are fighting. In rare cases, there can also be a draw. This is also possible if perfectly matched opponents engage in combat with each other under certain conditions. Well, to wrap up the topic, it's worth saying that undoubtedly everyone will definitely want to level up in this game, and there will be various opportunities to do so. These are the very extraordinary boxes that we showed. This is an opportunity to purchase, so VIP status and invite friends. We'll also give you certain additional benefits and various advantages that will significantly boost your authority and enhance your chances of winning in fights. So invite your friends.
We have 20 friends and so on. Are there any limits? How many friends do I need to bring to be really strong and cool, so that I can impress all my neighbors?
Nikita.
Well, actually very much. It's an exclusive concept of what it means to be cool, but overall, the authority. System is designed so that players can initially progress through the levels quite easily, meaning without necessarily buying paid boxes, without any VIP statuses, and so on, with the invitation of a minimal number of friends.
Oh, to the minimal bounce, well, to know.
There are up to 10 people.
There are no more than 10 friends.
Yes, I understand. Therefore, you can level up to 4, 5, out of 12 quite easily, meaning without a large number of friends or spending money.
10 million people with 10 friends each make 100 million. At least our minimum goal is 100 million and beyond.
But anyone who wants to reach the current highest level of authority, which is level 12 for now, we might expand it later, but for now it's 12. In any case, endless collections. Yes, Yes, well, the levels will be limited, but the authority points...
Well, about 10 friends, let's take a look.
The 10.
Well, here is the 4th level, but considering that you have collected almost all the common items in the collection... So what Zhenya didn't mention is that we have 4 levels of collection rarity. These are common items. These are rare items. These are epic. And there is even one legendary item. And accordingly, different items are found in different boxes. For example,
I can do 1 box a day, right?
the Judge's Hand Explanations free card. There are 3 boxes, 2 of them for stars, and they have no restrictions, which is for in-game currency. Here is the ordinary box. It has limitations depending on the VIP status. On the first level, as far as I remember, well, on the 0 level, on the first one, when you enter the game, there are 3 purchases per day. You can make a maximum number of purchases, but the more purchases you make, the higher your level, and the more purchases you will be able to make. And overall, they have it quite easy with time. Of course, not everything at once, but over time, you can get all the items.
Are these purchases made with in-game currency?
Yes.
And as I mentioned earlier, if you just consistently, steadily for 10 days, whenever you want, can you only get 1 box each day?
If it's about currency, if you log in regularly, you receive in-game currency and can collect boxes every 12 hours. Each day, the timer reset came and took it, but they can be opened, meaning they are additional. The restriction is specifically on purchasing boxes in the store. So, if you have accumulated 10 of these boxes and you are at the first level, you can open all 10 of them, not for unlocking the limit, but specifically for purchasing in the store. So, to finish, at the start at least, we will constantly be adding and updating. There will be 20 regular items that can be obtained from the most common box, and for each of them, you receive authority points, which level up your rank, and you also get points for friends. And if you have managed to collect almost all of these 20 items over time, plus invited at least 10 people, then you can easily reach the 4th, possibly even the 5th level out of 12, considering the battles. At these levels, you will be able to see quite comfortable and good metrics for the game. There are quite a large number of battles per day, a significant amount of passive income, and so on. But if you really want to reach the very top and make it to Forbes, you'll have to invite a lot of friends.
Let's say I'm not a blogger, I don't have a community, I'm just an ordinary guy working at a factory, driving a taxi, as an engineer or a doctor, or at a checkout counter wherever I stand. For example, where would you recommend I start to gain more experience and strength? Well, I see there's 1 free box here. I don't have any in-game currency in the first few days, so initially I need to try to bring in more friends to get more experiments. If I can do 3, then it's 3. If I can do 10, then it's 10. If 10 people set goals, I'll have a lot of experiments, and I can then attack everyone and conquer quickly. I'm not a player at all. I never played these games, only about 20 years ago. Probably about 20 years ago in school. Strategy. I remember that at the start you have 5 soldiers, and you need to immediately rush to attack someone before they develop their entire territory. I ran across the entire map, either to take him down or to take something from him to prevent him from developing, because once he develops, he will already be stronger.
Why?
Also here, I think what is needed here. Should we bring friends first?
Yes, experience.
What would you advise our stones?
Yes, you can. Bring friends, especially since you get not only...
These are new friends, not the ones I introduced before, right?
Yes.
Because the game is starting and it brings new friends.
Yes, right from the start of the game.
AVACN doesn't have it, right? So we need to find it.
Yes, and it turns out that for each friend, you will receive not only XP, but also in-game currency, which will allow you to level up, increase your earnings, hourly income, and also buy more regular cases, in which you can get collectible items. You will also be able to upgrade your attack and defense points in our buildings, which Zhenya talked about. The upgrades can also be done using the regular in-game currency. The more attributes you have, the more and more often you will be able to win battles and earn more. In other words, everything builds on each other. But I just looked at the exact numbers, and if you invite 10 friends and collect at least 4 items from the regular chests, you will already reach levels 1 to 5. There will be 5 attacks per day, and 6 hours of automatic war collection, which means quite excellent and comfortable conditions. Moreover, it can be done fairly quickly.
Yes, from the start, millions. Tens of millions of people will begin doing this, so I have a rough idea of how many people will take me out right away. Or maybe I'll take someone out. By the way, Zhenya, show both cards. Otherwise everyone will just go with the white bears. Let them become brown bears too. We had that, right?
Indeed, interesting.
I wonder, what about Crimea?
Cheat codes for our game.
Well, I think one little cheat code is fine at the start. I think it's normal. But we won't reveal any more after that.
Well, the main cheat code is inviting friends and increasing your reputation by acquiring collections and opening chests. And third, regularly logging into the game to collect and upgrade your business. I definitely believe this is the key to future successes.
And what collections do we have in Forbes? What can be bought or taken there? Or we don't give them detailed information about what will be in the boxes or any additional details. I'll tell you.
There are collection items, their approximate market value, how much authority they have given you, and you can also take a look and see all the collection items
Yes.
that you might come across in general.
Don't show them now. Let them come in and watch.
Yes. By the way, yes, it will be interesting. We don't need them.
Yes, let them come in. They can check it out in the game themselves. So, this figure of $1.4 million for the collectible project, what does it give me? Just that I'm in the ranking, right?
What are Forbes?
It actually shapes up, yes, the more items you have in your collection, the more valuable they are, and the higher you rank in Forbes.
So
Donald Trump with a bruised ear. You have avatars there.
Thank you. Didn't change the channel. All right. So, here. Well,
basically they just give me the rating, right? And then we'll come up with and explain what we'll get. The main thing, guys, yes, everyone participating, aim to reach the Forbes top 100. It will be super cool. Cooler than any game on Telegram. Whatever it does for you, we will definitely make something cooler and generally better for your benefit. So, reach the level of the top 100 forks, compete with everyone, and win. This is the goal, to become super cool, authoritative, and wealthy people with the help of our educated Kryptons.
and so on.
Alright, got it. But what about the maps? I've seen many other maps. Who will be able to access them and when?
At the specific level of detail and
Reaching the level of experience authority, right? So the more authority you have, the more you can move to other maps.
Later,
Measures.
that's still a secret for now.
secret. Okay.
Shouldn't I be doing this now?
In the game, leveling up will allow you to unlock other worlds. In these Sign-White's worlds, there will be new opportunities for leveling up, new businesses, new locations, and new cards. It's absolutely like you've landed on another planet. That is, the polar bears might encounter a different world than it was in Dubai. Maybe these will be some specific cities like Moscow, London, I don't know, New York, anything. Maybe there will be other planets. We are working on it, and of course we will present it in the next game release, because the game will undoubtedly, without a doubt, be updated constantly.
Well, everything seems nice, great, and clear. What else can we provide here? Vlad, when exactly will this be ready? Next month in August? In the second half? Please let me know.
When,
In the second half of August.
all right. Excellent.
August is such a pleasant and good month. So let everyone study, watch, and prepare. We will launch it for them. Completely.
What? Do we need to discuss anything else here?
What did we miss, guys? This is for the first version.
To conclude, we didn't sleep, so you probably said something and that's it.
Well, some parting words. This game is really cool and interesting. As someone not from the gaming industry, I think that in politics, all these old politicians are already in their second term. They bring no innovation, neither to the world as a whole, nor to their countries. We need young, energetic people with a fresh perspective. Only they can bring something new. Also, it's good that many of us are not from the gaming industry, so we can see what's currently cool and trendy in Telegram games. Thanks to our team of analysts, we know several hundred games, everything they have, and everything that's being done. There are also many truly talented various developments underway. We hope that our game will be convenient and enjoyable. Anyone who wants to play and spend time on it can simply participate. Those who find it interesting can also enjoy it and potentially earn money from it. We will also be adding features to this game that provide opportunities for learning and introducing people to the crypto world and the TON ecosystem. First of all, we are already within the TON ecosystem, TON, Telegram, so it's convenient to work, play this game, invite friends, and earn points. We will implement all the interesting and most advanced tools